Like, share, subscribe, hit the super chat on the way in. This is going to be a quick one. Hopefully, maybe, possibly. Y'all know how Mr. Z is. Maybe not. Um, yeah. So we're going to cover. Um, we are going to cover. Okay, I got it. I made it. All right. The breakdown, brain fart. The breakdown, a woman's perspective, and them covering Adam 22 and his woman. I see. The Black Authority covered it also, so I will be listening to his commentary. I might be coming back tomorrow morning with my own commentary on Mr. Jason Black's commentary, but we'll pause on that one for now. I want to focus on the ladies from the breakdown, a woman's perspective. Okay, do Black women want to be treated like equals, right? Or do they want to be treated like property? Or do they want to be treated like lesser beings or being expendable, right? Or a means to an end? Because like that's what Adam 22 kind of exhibited here, right? Like this is the logical conclusion. This is when and I'm gonna make this association, but these women don't necessarily occupy the same space. But like when Chrissy says, these other people are focused on business and they're focused on power, like you understand that their woman is also oftentimes expendable in that pursuit. That's why they don't feel anything, right? In a divorce, like, is she taking my money though? Right? Like, do you want Black men to operate like that? And are you prepared for the way you're treated in a community where Black men move and operate like that? Right? When money is everything, that puts money above you, ladies. So you can try to remix it, and I'm not saying the ladies necessarily did this, but you can try to remix it and show like, well, this is what happens when a man is of power, and if he's getting to the bag, and yeah. I mean, the money matters even more than the woman, even more than the woman that might be helping to get to the money, right? And Leon, this is a great comment. Actually, let me read it. And Leon says, "Bro, why are people worried about how sex workers' relationship work? Do people get free advertising that Adam? Goddamn, the light screen. Okay, I gotta wait until. All right, yeah, Mr. Z backed out by mistake. Okay, yeah, yeah. But yeah, okay, give me a second before I can finish reading that, Leon. But yeah, no, you're right. No, but we're having a larger conversation. This is not necessarily about Adam 22. We're using Adam 22 and his situation with his wife. And for those of you that don't know, Adam 22 and his wife are into sex work, like Leon said, and he had promised that he would never like let her do a standalone kind of gig, with another sex act on camera, with another man, and clearly he just did, and he feels some type of way about it. And the larger conversation is, you know, what happens when it's money over everything. That's what Mr. Z is focused on, right? What does money over everything really look like? The unglamorous parts of money over everything, the non-hip hop part of money over everything, right? Sounds good over a dope beat, but what does it look like, right? And you can make a pun out of that, by the way. What does money over everything really look like? Once again, the unglamorous parts of it. And I submit to you that this is what it looks like. It sounds nice, right? It makes sense, actually, until you're married. Uh-oh. And yes, Adam 22 and his woman, they live kind of an alternative life when it comes to that. And, yeah, yes, absolutely, 100% correct. But if this is going to be part of the pop culture discourse at the moment, then we will engage and we will oblige, right? And so my question to Black women is, do you understand that this is the logical conclusion of some of the things that you advocate that Black men be? And this is not just a white liberal man and his sex worker wife, and they're out here, no, 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 no. Conservative men are on this too. This is the logical conclusion to money over everything. Power and wealth acquisition above all else. You get here. Everything's for sale. Yes, including your woman. Even when you got the money. Even when you have it. And that's for men and for women. Don't forget what I said Mackenzie Bezos, not Mackenzie Bezos, but what Bill Gates' ex-wife, what she was on. She signed that contract. Yeah, you could go ahead and have fun with your college sweetheart once a year. You're married to me. She's married to a man, so some other dude, and y'all could go ahead and go deal with each other in this cabin once a year for a week. She signed that. Now, I'm not saying that she shouldn't sign that because, I mean, he is a billionaire, but she signed that. That's what, when money is over everything, that's what it looked like. Screw your morals. Screw your feelings. Your moral compass out the window. Your feelings out the window. This is what money over everything looked like. And more importantly, I think what the ladies miss, and those of us who have been around white men enough, and maybe I should retract that. I think the ladies, at least in this conversation, might have overlooked a little bit. Many men see their women as lesser. Black men, for the good and bad of it, don't actually see Black women as lesser. Maybe that's why the Black gender war is so fraught. They see their women as lesser for the good and bad of it. Yeah. And I wonder if Black women really understand that that's what they see going on sometimes in these South Asian relationships, East Asian relationships, white relationships, particularly white patriarchal relationships, right? Do you really understand what you're seeing? Right? You see it as chivalrous. No, he see her as not just a physically weaker being, just lesser than. Not just physically weaker, no, lesser than. The leadership is because it's not that I might be a little bit wiser than you. I might be a little bit more knowledgeable than you. I might be a little bit more, I might be stronger physically. No, 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 no. You're lesser than. This is the natural order of things. Do you understand that that's what white men are really saying? And it's interesting when you see these Black women that get into these relationships. And then shout out to Black Uru and Brads. And that, what did you think? So of course, and wasn't this like somewhat in the backdrop of one of those ocean movies, Ocean 11 or Ocean 12, one of those, right? Where Buddy Rose willing to sell Julia Roberts to what's his face? Yeah, auctioning off your. And so the ladies are speaking about, these people get married, these women will have sex with the brother and then marry the other brother and etc. And have sex with the friend. The people in town would know she got a train ran on her, and she'll still be able to marry one of them, and you'll rarely hear about it. And it's like, yeah, because they see her as lesser than. They have other plans for her. It's not that they're better at, understanding sex, and no. And sometimes when you listen to black women talk, it's kind of like you want to be treated that way, or are you just talking? And I'm not saying the ladies are saying this. I'm just saying black women in general. And do you understand what comes with that? The consequences of that? Or are you just talking? Right? It sounds nice. Like I said, it sounds like nice over a good beat on a hip hop song, on a rap song. Yeah, sound nice. Money over everything. Until you with the man that actually means it. Right? Oh, I like this comment, Leon. Let me hear it. See if I can read this one this time. God damn it. The light just turned green again. Okay. But I think Leon was saying, how people view these monetized relationships. But Leon, this is the thing. A lot of people want this though. They just never thought about the unintended consequences of these type of transactional relationships. You hear black people in the black community almost like looking longingly, not even almost, looking longingly at these, non-black relationships that they think are so much better without ever considering the dark side of those relationships, with those relationships, the non-glamorous side of those relationships. What does it look like for you to supposedly be in a loving relationship and it's really transactional? Right? You wonder why these people are able to cheat. These men are able to cheat, and then the wife got to feign like she cares. Oh my God, he cheated on me. She's faking. They had a transactional relationship. Shout out to Bill and Hillary Clinton. Excuse me, Bill and Hillary Clinton. I'm not gonna say it was never love, but shoot, right? Now she got to feign because name, prestige, all this other stuff. So they, hey, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna provide you with this lifestyle, or to this type of school. But I might not only be into women. Are you willing to be down? And those women say yes. Or, I'm going to make sure we live a great life. These are my connections. This is my whatever. Here, you can start a business. This is that. But I do have 2-3 side chicks and I ain't letting them go. And those women sign that. And I understand. For many black women, I think it's difficult to come to terms with, yes, your chick will be the side chick. She'll be the side chick to a dude earning $250,000 a year, then be your wife. Right? And that's not exclusive to black women. That's a woman trait. That's something that the left, particularly the FD signifiers of the world, really struggle with. They think if you just give women money and education and access and opportunity, that they still won't go back down to this. No, they'll be even worse on this. I would like to direct you to Ebony K. Williams. Train tracks. Well, if we get them educated and we make sure that they don't need men, then nope. They turn into Ebony K. Williams. They turn into Chrissy. They turn into Yanni. They become even more transactional. God damn. I would like to direct you to the conversation with Bell Hooks and what's her face, Gloria Steinem. The greatest love of my life was a man. He didn't really have much. He didn't have any money. Well, that ain't the type of man for me. Exactly. And that's your black feminist, foremother right there. So, dear ladies, do you want to be treated like equals by black men? Or do you want black men to be paternalistic? Do you want black men to treat you like children, as lesser partners, which is not a partner? I should say that different. As lesser beings, not a junior partner, but as lesser beings. There we go. There, I fixed it. And are you prepared for what that looked like? Right? Oh, wow. Okay, yeah, you guys give me 1 second because I thought I had time to do something and I did not. So let's hurry up and fix that. Um, yeah, kind of way too close. But yeah, so that's something to really think about. I'm listening to the ladies from the grapevine. I said the grapevine. Sorry, ladies. From the breakdown. Two different. Well, boy, the ladies from the breakdown have my head. Um, you know, um, yeah, from the breakdown, and they pose some interesting questions, but you know, this is what Mr. Z is asking. These are real questions. Do black women really want to be treated as equals, or do they want to be treated as lesser beings, intrinsically lesser beings? Not because of paying it forward, and black men kind of taking leadership position because you paying it forward just in case one day we gotta lay down our life for you. No, 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 no. No, you're just inherently a lesser being, right? Just not like real questions, right? And y'all give Mr. Z 1 second. I'm gonna get with y'all in 1 minute. Y'all give Mr. Z 1 second, everybody. Y'all talk amongst yourselves. And thank you for the super chat. I'm back. And thank you for the super chat. And Big Kev says black men gotta apologize for not being white misogynist. Look, black men gotta apologize for everything, Big Kev. Right? For everything, for being born black and XY chromosome within the past 500 or so years. You gotta apologize because it's all your fault, right? Like Chrissy said, it's all your fault, right? And she went all the way back to the west coast of Africa with it. Guess she never heard of Daughters of the Trade, but okay. Right. So these are things that black men really have to consider, whether this is what women are on in general and black women are on specifically. For what they perceive as security, they'll take um a little misogyny, right? It's something, and if I could go back and find it, the Funky Academic said maybe a year ago, maybe 9 months ago or something like that. It might even be longer than a year ago. I can't recall, but it was so poignant to me. It was like a perfect comment. And essentially, non-white people will accept white supremacy, well-ordered white supremacy. And when he said it, I was like, yeah, they will white, excuse me, non-white people, so that's black people, Latinos, Asians, will accept a white supremacist order if it's well ordered. They will abdicate leadership, and now I'm putting words in his mouth. Now I'm adding extra stuff. He didn't say all of this, but they will abdicate any idea of like full on agency or being equal to white folks or any of that. If white supremacy is well ordered and they know that the trains are gonna come on time and the buses are too, right? And they'll just accept, like, okay, there's certain things I can't do because I'm not white, but at least this society is well ordered for the most part. And I'm translating that into, you know, um, what I'm saying about women, particularly black women. So I guess what we're saying here is women will accept, including black women will, excuse me, including black women will accept velvet glove, softer misogyny, not black male leadership. Quite frankly, they'll accept white male misogyny any day, but misogyny. And I think that's okay for the ladies to say. I don't think they want to say it because then they know what comes with that when men are like, all right, bet. Right? I'm arguing that's what we're dealing with here. Women that kind of want it on their own terms, but when it shits the fan, they'll accept well ordered misogyny. And they'll just figure out a way to rationalize it any way they want. Right? Okay, let's hurry up and read Leon's two comments. Are they still here? Okay, here we go. The first one is, bro, why are people worried about how sex worker relationships work? Do people get free advertising that Adam is delivering to the world? How many views has he got? It's called business. True, true. I agree. I agree. And then the other comment was, Z, the biggest problem is how the average person views these types of monetized relationships, aka Atlanta Housewives, true, Love and Hip Hop, also, Sierra Russell Wilson, Kiki Palmer, and Adam 22, LOL. Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. Right, right. But yeah, so that's huh. That's something that we really. I guess I'm working through it, working through the concept of, well, because Armio say Frimpong, the Funky Academic, said this a while ago. And ever since he said that, I've been sitting with that and kind of working it through, my mental, like, huh. Shout out to the Asian community, goddamn. And the Latino community, oh, right? Non-white folks that are okay with and actually prefer well-ordered white supremacy than the chaos that might come from, them upturning that, or, what they see as freedom, but maybe not, it doesn't have the structure that a well-ordered white dominated society does. And if I translate that to women, I think women will sign up for that. I wonder if black women, though, because black women look like they'll blow something up for power. That's much of our argument over here in the black manosphere, right? And Trell says, and thank you for the super chat, Trell says, Humans want order. Is is it then that these women are speaking against their desire for misogynistic order? I That's a good question. Are they just trying to renegotiate terms and they've just been being loud and wrong about how they should go about it for the past, 5 decades or so? Is this just women throwing a fit because really they don't know how to articulate themselves about wanting to renegotiate terms and renegotiate what patriarchy should look like? Right? And y'all give me a second. Um, y'all talk amongst yourselves. Give Mr. Z 1 second. I'm gonna leave that up. That's a great comment trail. Give me 1 second. Is Okay. So we're back for a few seconds. I'm gonna have to pause again in a minute, but no, that's a great question, right? And I think yes, human beings prefer order. Some of us like the chaos, right? But that's a relative handful. Yeah, no, I agree that human beings like order, and maybe this all of this over the past 50 years is a trying attempting to renegotiate terms because you hear these people speaking about loving their autonomy and their freedom and not having to adhere to any rules and norms, but then simultaneously lament not having to adhere to any rules and norms, right? Or better yet, lament the chaos that is their life because they don't want to be under any type of leadership, they don't want any type of boundaries. So they're living a life with no boundaries or relatively few boundaries, and they're dealing with the consequences of that and then lamenting that, right? That's what makes this conversation interesting. You want the order, but you don't want the order. And Leon says, no, these women are full out trolling. They are making demands that no black man can meet, right? They are negotiating black men taking less. They are already putting standards men can't meet. LOL. No, I agree with this. That's why I made the stream that I made, this morning, speaking about now. Chrissy's talking about perfect. And now the bar is at perfect, right? Because when you show more and more, and shout out to all of us in the Black Manosphere and our associates, right, that black men are actually doing as well as you can imagine a group of people that just came out of Jim Crow 50 years ago. And I gotta keep on stressing that. I gotta bring that back into my lexicon. I used to say it more often, right? A group of people that just came out of Jim Crow 50 years ago, just came out of slavery a little over a century and a half ago, and they're doing as best as you can ever imagine. And yet these people are making these type of demands. I agree with you on that, Leon. I agree with you on that. Dreddy Bean said it's like they're purposely trolling. Oh, definitely they are. Right? Definitely they are. Right. But yeah, so listening to the lady speak, you know, I think you're hearing more mature women speak, but at the same time, I think there's a bit of them that's truly like, well, this is He's about his money. Y'all over here, this is how Brad move. And it's like, okay, do you want us to move how Brad moves? And are you prepared to be treated the way Miss Anna's treated? I would like to direct y'all to the video of what's his face talking to his Crowder, talking to his soon to be ex-wife. Right? How did he talk to her? Right? How did he talk to her? Yeah, we're men. We all know what that low level threat of physical violence look like. We know what it looked like. Yeah, y'all tell me Crowder ain't look at her, or well, we couldn't see how he looked at her, but you tell me in his voice, you didn't hear that. All right now, in his own square ass, non-funny, wish he was a real comedian ass way. Right? Oh, that's a great comment right there. Where's that Big Kev? And Big Kev says 95% of quote unquote. No, excuse, I'm saying that wrong. 95% of radical quote unquote revolution talk is advocating for left wing author. If I get this word right, Jesus Christ, for one time, God, once could I get? Oh, wait a minute! Don't, Mr. Z, gonna spell it out. I'm gonna get it right. I've been tripping over this word for the past year. I used to say it perfectly. I don't know what happened, and I couldn't get it out the right way anymore. Authoritarianism. There we go. Jesus Christ. Mr. Z, what you got going on? I don't know. Right? But yeah, so yeah, no, Big Kev is 100% right about this. Right? Use your words. But yeah, no, Big Kev, no, I agree with that. I agree with that. As a matter of fact, I think that is what many women, generally speaking, not even just on the left, but particularly on the left, are truly advocating for the state to have more power than the individual man in the family. Yeah, no, I agree with that. I agree with that. All right. So yeah, no, I agree with that. I agree with that. And the Raj report says, and thank you for the super chat, Raj. And the Raj report says, I'm sure women want order, but they want it on their terms. They want it to be ever changing based on the moment they're in, but it must be controlled by white men. I think we can wrap up right there because Raj just dropped the nuke as per usual. But no, exactly. Especially the ever changing parameters based off their feeling stuff, right? And like that's not really order though. That's the thing. Like order is a set standard, a set rule set, right? And like that's what it is. Maybe it changes if the environment changes that drastically. But for the most part, no, order is order. Right? There is no order changing day by day, minute by minute based off of your feelings. And so I agree with Raj 100% on this. Yeah, that's what the women are asking for. Women in general, black women specifically, and I would like to direct you once again to Scarlet Witch, right? Perfect example. Willing to destroy multiple universes for their retarded ass dream, right? Adam 22 is showing y'all what it really looked like. Money over everything, right? That's what you want men to be on? All right, let me show you what it really looked like at its logical conclusion. And yes, they're both sex workers, we know. Yes, they're entertainers, we know. But if you think of non-entertainers, non-sex workers, was it indecent proposal? Wasn't that the name of the movie? One of my Xers and my boomers, I'm a millennial. Maybe some of my older millennial brethren would tell me that's the movie I'm talking about, right? Where rich buddy offered money for the wife, and both of them said yes, and it destroyed their marriage even with the money. Of course. Would you think these Hollywood writers are just making these scenarios up? Right? This is a real thing. Dear Black, you know, so years ago, this had to be maybe 3, 4 years ago, more like 4 years ago now, like 4 years ago. Um, Yvette Carnell had an African sister call up, and the African sister was talking about going to one of these type of schools. I don't think she attended an Ivy, but it definitely sounded like she attended one of the reputable schools, maybe second tier schools, right? The Colgate level type schools. Um, and she was saying, you know, she went to some type of party, and you know, white dude was kind of feeling her. She was kind of feeling him, but he a little weird. Anyway, long story short, they end up not working out, but the white Latina girl that was her friend at the time, she ended up dating the dude, and she was the one mainly pushing for the African sister to date the dude, talking about, you know, he got connections here and he this and that. And you know, when she didn't make it work with the white dude, the Latina ended up dating the white dude. And she was saying, like, she was telling Yvette, like, these relationships in these type of spaces are very transactional. And I think, you know what it was? It was when what's his name was going through Congress to be confirmed as Supreme Court judge. Y'all know who I'm talking about. Was it Trump's first appointee, or was it his second? What is his name? Oh man. Y'all know who I'm talking about. Oh my god. The one that they tried to bring up old allegations of sexual assault. Neil Gorsuch. Was it Neil Gorsuch? Maybe. Right? Yeah, so you know, and so the sister, she came up with her own story of, like, yeah, that's how they get down in those spaces. And like, black women, are you ready for that? You want black men to move more like white men. Are you ready for that? Right? Are you ready for those type of transactional relationships? Right? Brett Kavanaugh, that's the name. Thank you. That's it. Thank you, AB. Right. That's who it is. Brett Kavanaugh. Right. Brain fart. Hey, y'all know when you consume too much, you're like, wait a minute. I know, but I can't call it right now. Right. But yeah, so that's what it looked like. And so, you know, I'm agreeing with Trell. I'm agreeing with Raj. No, they want order. They just want order to change minute by minute, and so that's not order. And so, tying that to Adam 22, that's what MOE looks like. So you want the men that's hyper pursuing power, wealth. Like, look at how Trump treats his wives. He don't even pretend. He doesn't walk next to what's her name until he became president, and then he pretended like, oh, this is the type of relationship we got. Everybody know they can even act it out correctly, right? Oh, Leon said Brett Kavanaugh too. My bad. Yeah, Leon. Yes, Brett Kavanaugh. Yeah, Joe said it too. Cav. Cheryl said it too. Kavanaugh. Yeah. Yeah, Alan Stranger said it too. Yeah, Brett. Yeah. There we go. Yep. Right. AB said, so they want us to treat them like how Donald Trump treat women. I mean, kind of, maybe. Right. Be all about your money and just, you know, switch them out. I mean, I guess Trump isn't switching out what's her name anymore, Melania Trump. He's too old now. But you know, treat them like that. And Dreddy Bean said white men bully their women. But I mean, that seems like what black women are asking for, though. Do y'all understand that without the force of the state or some laws or anything like that, The brothers in the Black Panther Party, when the women started complaining, they switched up. Okay, you know what? You right. All right, fine. We'll cook some days. You cook some days. We'll switch it up. Without the pressure of the state, black men in the middle of the civil rights movement negotiated with black women on power distribution. What's her name speaks about that all the time when they try to box her in. Y'all know who I'm talking. What's the name of the sister that was in the Black Panther Party? Every time they try to box her in with this, black men were sexist in the Black Panther Party, she always like, nah, stop it. Right? So maybe that is what black women are asking for, to be bullied. That's why I brought up what's his face? Crowder. Look how he was talking to her. Now we all know when you had an argument with your lady, whatever. But that he wasn't arguing with her like he was arguing with her like, hey, Elaine Brown, thank you. Thank you, Afro National. Right? Look at these relationships with white men. And this is what black women claim they want. They don't even actually want that. Let's be very clear. They just talking to be talking, right? They don't actually want those relationships. Raj has it right, Trell has it right. They want minute by minute order, right? And could y'all really handle transactional relationships? Fully transactional relationships. How many black women could handle fully transactional relationships? Y'all pretending like what's her name, Young Miami, don't know what she got into with Diddy. Y'all over here looking at Diddy like he's the problem. No, he's offering her money and experiences, and she like, yeah, I'll take it. She have enough money to she have enough money to live a great life on her own, or enter into another type of relationship with another type of man. She rather be with Diddy. She's the one trying to pressure him into a relationship. For all you lefties that pretending like y'all don't see what everybody else sees. She could easily get a star, a famous person on her type of level. No, she'd rather be with Diddy. She's the one trying to pressure Diddy into a relationship. No, we just friends. Right? And y'all give me a second. I know I'm about to go through a little bit of a dead zone. Right? Let's get in and out of that dead zone. But yeah, so these type of things are important. These type of transactional relationships. Y'all forgot some of the story that we were hearing about Cosby. Everybody stuck on the pill thing. Nah, the transactional part of those side situations, knowing he ain't leaving his wife ever. So we just gonna keep on ignoring that part. What about the relationship with and I think they got divorced with Rupert Murdoch in the Asian wife, right? Which, by the way, what is the second or third wife? And he was only really with her because he was trying to get into the Asian market, if I'm not mistaken, the Chinese market in particular. I think that what two girls together, something like that. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong. Transactional. That's what y'all want. That's what transactional look like. Adam 22 is the logical conclusion to transactional relationships. Louder with Crowder is the logical conclusion to transactional relationships. Bill Gates and Melinda Gates is the logical conclusion to transactional relationships. Donald Trump and which are marbles, Ivana Trump, and now Melania Trump. And I said it the other way. It's Ivana, then Marla Maples, then Melania. Those are the logical conclusion to transactional relationships. And by the way, without all of that money, right? AB said, don't forget Bill Clinton. No, she's still there, right? That's the logical conclusion to it, transactional relationships. That's what it looked like. So it's not, I hear what Leon's saying. So, but I'm having a larger conversation. I'm using Adam 22 and his wife's situation to have a larger conversation about the other relationships that we see that are that type of transactional, right? Right. And Raj says, and thank you for the super chat. Raj says they really want white men to treat them an imagined way. They really want brothers to just run over funds to them, bruh. Yeah, that's it. Alexa, play DeBarge. Love me in a special way, please. Raj, you saying that's black women singing that to themselves about white men? Oh, with El DeBarge in the high pitched notes, right? Black women looking at white men like love me in a special way. And Leon, this is a great comment too. All black women can handle transactional relationships if the man makes money and has status, and they can monkey branch by choice. Yeah. Unfortunately, that's not how it works, right? Because clearly, look at Adam 22's reaction. Now we understand he could be putting on an act. It could be nothing to him. He could be pretending like it's messing with him. So we got to make space for that. But then it could really be messing with him, even as a sex worker, even as a person who's been with more women than we could put on fingers and toes, and more fingers and toes. Right? Easily in the 3 digits, maybe in the 4 digits of women. Right? Easily. Dreddy Bean said he's pretending. He could be pretending. I'm not even going to doubt you. Right? And Nema says Wendy Dang is her name. She was Murdoch's third wife. They have 2 daughters together. See? Are those daughters going to get anywhere near running the News Corp organization? Maybe. I mean, if they, I think he has 3 sons that are back to back, 2 or 3 sons, the oldest. So unless they can move them out the way in the next 20 or so years, right? But that's the type of relationships, black women. That's the type of relationships you want. Ooh, AB. If y'all don't know, how many wives has Newt Gingrich been through? And AB says, so they want us to treat them like Newt Gingrich treat his wives? Huh? Okay. A for some not even stability, because black women said they're not looking for stability from black men. They charging you with a black tax. So for them to be with you, it got to be like opulence and extravagance, right? The white man could come with bare minimum stability, if even that. So yeah, yeah, they'll sign up for Newt Gingrich type of situation, right? Toya said disposable wives, right? That's what it looked like, Toya. That's what it looked like. Some of your sister are asking for to have a man be in the position. Like, think about what you're really asking for. A man that could dispose of you because he has that type of wealth and access and ability, right? But he just won't because he's a quote unquote good man. What in the entire hell are y'all talking about? And I'm not speaking about the sisters necessarily from the breakdown. I'm saying like this type of narrative, right? Think about that. I want the type of men that have all of this wealth and all of these resources and all of these connections and ability to move and just, but I want him to not treat me like I'm disposable. Well, let's see all the other men with that type of access and ability. Uh-oh. Right? Oh, I would have missed that comment if Toya didn't tell me to look up. And Alan Stranger says, like shorted out phone chargers, just go get another one. Apparently, right? Apparently. So on one hand, you know, they're speaking about Pierce Brosnan's wife, right? And that fact that he'd been with her for decades and whatever. But then on the other hand, they kind of want a Melania Trump type situation, or Mackenzie Bezos type situation, or Melinda Gates type situation. Choose one, ladies. Right? Choose one. So Adam 22, this conversation could go multiple ways. I look at it as larger than Adam 22 and his wife and their situation, and Leon is 100% correct. They are sex workers, and we really have to sit down as black people to real what the hell are we watching on TV, bro? Like, what are we watching? What are we consuming on this is where like all the old heads are like, this is why it's called the stupid box, or like television programming. The hoteps come out and start telling you about television programming, and it's called program. What did Eddie Griffin say? It's called programming because they're telling you visually the program. Right? Shout out to Eddie Griffin. Right? We really have to have a conversation, because I'm agreeing with Leon, like all of this Real Housewives stuff, and like, what are we watching? And then people try to recreate this in their regular ass lives, and then wonder why their life is miserable and why they can't be satisfied or happy with anything. Earth said the boob tube, right? For real. I'm saying, like, this is what it looked like. You see what I'm saying? And Lion says, exceed the burden of performance as a man, only to be regulated as a cuck. That's the plan, bruh. Sounds like the hive model that Nameless talks about all the time. That's what it sounds like to me. Thank you for this, Nema. And Nema says Rupert Murdoch has 6 kids from his 3 previous marriages, 4 daughters and 2 sons. The oldest 4 are battling for control supposedly. And there you go. Well, I remember, didn't the one? I think it was the oldest one that got caught up with that bribery scandal in Britain years ago, right? Was that the oldest one or the second oldest one? Of the sons, right? And Oliver the Great, thank you for the super sticker. That's what it looked like, ladies. That's what it looks like. You want transactional? You want men that are money over everything and not just on a rap song? All right, you can have that. You want to know what it really looked like? Right? Wait a minute. The same people that talk about swag and what gets their johnny wet, right? And muscle bound dudes and the way a dude walk and beat big D energy and gray sweatpants. These are the same people. I mean, like sometimes the exact same people that then turn around and talk about entertaining transactional relationships and being in sugar baby situations with pot belly ass white dudes. What? What are you talking about? Wait, what? We already said it. The black man got to come with the swag, right? And the big D and the gray sweatpants and the washboard, if not six pack, right? And y'all transaction is mainly sexual and that energy, that lustful energy. Essentially the same thing white women are on with black men. Black women want to be like white women, so there you go. But then your relationship with white men and some black men, other type of black men, is transactional. What? Trell, this is what I'm saying. And Trell says, you want transactional? You can't handle transactional. You see? And Big Kev says, and thank you for the super chat. Yes, then blame all the BS they go through on black men. And there go chaos. And there goes chaos. That's chaos right there. That's chaos right there. Let's read Roger's comment one more again. Thank you, Big Kev. Let's read that again. I'm sure women want order, but they want it on their terms. They want it to be ever changing based on the moment they're in, but it must be controlled by white men. And there you go. There go the answer to what you just said, Big Kev. Right? All of that, and then let's continue with what Big Kev said. Yes, then blame all the BS, the fallout from all that crap that Raj was just talking about. So blaming all the BS they go through on black men, and there you go. I just tied both of y'all comments together because both of these, this is it right here. The logical conclusion of wanting that lustful energy in relationships while also wanting something set transactional. Exhibit A, Adam 22. Tatted up white dude that's cool with black dudes and white dudes. A Western woman's wet dream. And even he's getting cooked. Shout out to all the white dudes who thought you won. You thought you won. You helped to create this chaos. And then the same white women are cooking you. You did this to all of us. Oh, welcome to hell. Welcome to hell. You thought you won. You thought you won. Right? Adam 22 has enough money that she doesn't have to do anything. And yet she convinced him. And once again, we understand they're sex workers, yada yada. But she convinced him to do an act on camera with Big D Tyrone. And then go talk about it on his show. And even that is about the money and the attention also. So I'm in agreement with Leon about this. All of this is about the money and the attention and the views and the eyeballs. Yes, absolutely. But the larger conversation is this is something that happens every day to everyday people. right? Trelson, Trelson, you got to be a dreaded bald head, six pack, but not too muscly, hood nigga with a heart of gold, right? I remember when I was in high school, a sister said sophisticated thug, and I was just like, it's the first time I ever heard that. When I'm in the 11th grade, or I think I was in the 12th grade or 11th grade, and she said sophisticated thug, and like it's not a difficult concept, but for the first time hearing it, you're like, what in the entire hell is she talking about? Right? And then years and years and years later, over a decade, close to a decade later, I was having a conversation with a young lady on the train, and sister again, and she described Juvenile as a sophisticated thug randomly. And I was like, Juvenile. And it's funny because, if y'all haven't checked out Juvenile's Tiny Desk performance, it's actually pretty dope. Just happened with her last week or something. But yeah. And she described Juvenile. Why? Because he wear glasses sometimes. What are you talking about? Right? And Oliver the Great, thank you for the super chat. And he says, psychology is real. Things you consume have an impact. Yeah, things you consume have an impact. Absolutely. The television Mark Lamont Hill did an interview with a Middle Eastern author lady on is it Al Jazeera? I want to say it was either Al Jazeera. It wasn't RT. Plus, if it was on RT, you couldn't find it because shout out to the U.S. government. There's no more RT news online, or at least not on YouTube. And you got to know Mr. Z was subscribed to them. Of course, I was. But I want to say it was either on Al Jazeera or no, it was on Al Jazeera. I want to say it was on Al Jazeera. So I mean, you probably could still find it. And he was talking to the lady, and she said, I don't think Americans get it. Everything on TV is propaganda. Everything, right? And like the way she said it so adamantly, and she's 150 billion% right. All of it. Y'all heard Mr. Z say the commercial is a commercial and the TV show is a commercial. They're forwarding concepts. It's not only the products, it's ideas as products. It's concepts as products. It's also ways to subdue you. Black women, you listening? Keep you on that hamster wheel, that consumerism hamster wheel. And Mr. Z is not even claiming to be above all of it. I'm not. So I agree with Oliver the Gray on this. Psychology is a real thing. You consume excuse me, things you consume have an impact, right? And it does have an impact on the way you think, the way you rationalize. If you rationalize, I want to remind everyone, like I said earlier, we're only 50 years out of Jim Crow, and I'm hearing black people sound effing insane. Absolutely bonkers when it comes to consumerism. Upward mobile. What? Why haven't y'all built Wakanda yet? Wait, what? Right. What Chrissy said this morning, yesterday or whatever, whenever she made the video. These other men aren't worried about vagina. They worried about power. What other men? Right. They're having whole documentaries about what's going on in these other countries with their declining birth rate, and you talking about these other people ain't worried about vagina. If you don't get an entire hell out of here, right? What's going on, BGS? Oliver the Gray said T-Pain has the best underrated tiny desk till this day. I think everybody definitely, if they weren't, if they were defecating on T-Pain before, I think he definitely got a lot of his he got his flowers while he was alive with that tiny desk performance. Yes, I agree. Right, and thank you for the super sticker, Oliver the Gray. Right, Detroit said white women and Asian women are winning without breaking a sweat. Yeah, well, I would say Asian women, they're moving in silence to us. I'll say to us, but you talk to Asian guys, Asian women ain't moving in silence. They loud as hell, right? It's very clear what they're on. It's called a white penis, but it's very clear what they're on, right? And maybe they are built for transactional. My question to black women are you built for transactional? And what it look like? And I would like, once again, I would like to direct you to the Business Insider article, right? I would like to direct you to that. I would like to direct you to the interview, like it was an interview, but the conversation I told you that Yvette Carnell had with the African sister. Straight up telling you that's how they move over there. Well, and by the way, I'm not even against it if you could hack it. If you could hack it, fine. I want my situation to be about love and companionship, but I know a lot of y'all aren't about that. You trying to be white folks. You can have that and deal with the consequences of it. And don't complain if and when it doesn't work out the way you wanted it to. Because now you're trying to change terms mid marriage, your stale ass, boring ass transactional marriage. Right? And Leon says, our ancestors built Wakanda, but it means nothing in segregation. We even built the HBCUs, right? You mean the HBCUs that they gentrify like it's the damn hood, right? Oliver Gray said, BGS tax drop a link. I think you mean a like for the master teacher if he's up to it. Oh, drop a link. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. No, definitely. I don't know, but I don't know if BGS caught the breakdown with the lady speaking about the Adam 22 situation. I don't even know if he's seen it, right? Like I said, Jason Black covered it also. I might cover his covering because I actually should have checked that out. But no, you know what? It's good that I didn't because it wouldn't have an effect on the way I see this situation and the way I see it, and definitely the way the ladies on the breakdown covered it. It sounds nice. Okay, BGS said no, he hasn't seen it. Well, that's something you might want to look up, BGS. Right? But all obviously remember Adam 22, podcaster, sex worker, so is his lady. So, obviously you get mired in that also, right? But if you take that out of that very specific context and see it for the transactional type of situation it could be, right? And what money over everything and trying to get the bag over everything, what it looks like, well, you kind of end up here, right? Detroit's in Detroit tax, right? And Trail Bentley said, I understand, just as lover of the craft, I admire her performance. This was prior to becoming unmentionable, right? I'm lost on the conversation between Trail and okay, yeah, we'll just leave that. But yeah, so this this is what it looks like. I guess to sum up everything, this is what it looked like, ladies. Your man would be like, hey, you know what? Okay, fine. We gonna get some money off of it. Okay, fine. Once again, indecent proposal. That's what I should actually title the this video. That's what I should have actually titled it. Indecent proposal. There we go. Well, good point. And BGS said even black men want the bag. Check out Russell Wilson. Good point. Yeah, but at least with Russell, at least from what we could see, well, you know what? He was wife swapping with the ex, right? But at least with this situation, we don't necessarily see that. So, but remember who his friends were growing up too, though, BGS. What his circle looked like, right? Maybe not his parents, obviously, but what that circle looked like, right? And Ogun says he doesn't seem to care about his kids seeing it, bruh. Look, Leon's right. Look, I don't know why I'm covering it because even in the square world, we're engaging in some of this, a lot of this, right? Even in the square world, and so this type of thing, bro, you know, and people look at this and then. And Mr. Z is engaging in it right now, also, right? We have these conversations about would you and are you built for it and duh, and I was like, yeah, I don't know, right? I'm not, but I don't know about the rest of everyone else. Trans This level of very transactional relationships, you know, yeah, no. BGS making fun. BGS said a porn star sleep with another porn star. Oh, where do they do that at? Right? I think with well, once again, like Dreddy Bean said, he was definitely probably acting, but I think the response from Adam after the fact, right, or the way he was acting at least after the fact, but you signed up for it. So even if he wasn't acting, okay, fine. Granted, he wasn't acting, he wasn't putting on a show. Um, he actually did feel a certain way, but she convinced him to let Big D Tyrone, right, rearrange her insides. Fine, but this is what y'all do, right? Oh, Oliver the Gray said glizzy gobblers. Oh, hysterical, right? That's freaking hysterical. Oh, glizzy gobblers. Oh man. I don't know why that one has me in stitches. But okay, all right, everybody, we're gonna close out. But I this is something really for black women to actually ask themselves: do you want to be treated equally, or do you want to be treated as a lesser being? And are you ready for what that looks like? And yes, for those of you that didn't catch the beginning, I'm tying this Adam 22 thing because the ladies on the breakdown was speaking about get into the bag, and Brad, get into the bag while y'all over here complaining about et cetera, et cetera. And what I'm saying is, well, the logical conclusion of money over everything and get into the bag means that everything's for sale, ladies, including you, right? That means everything is for sale, including you, right? That means you're here for 5 to 10 years, and then you get swapped out, and you get your severance package, and I bring in another one for 7 to 12 years. She gets swapped out, and then I'm bringing another one. Not Trail this time. Actually, Big Kev this time. Big Kev over here entertaining the BS too. Big Kev said esophagus expert. No, let us not start making um heady heady jokes, huh? Heady jokes about jaw exercises, right? Oh man, yo, but see, this is really this was actually something. This is actually one of those situations where you could have a larger conversation about something that's entertainment based that really shouldn't have anything to do with us in our lives, but you can extrapolate from this a lot. To Mr. Z, it was very clear to me what could be extrapolated from this, what money over everything looks like. Yes, they're adult film entertainers anyway. Yes, but he definitely earns enough to kind of take her out of that, and she, convinced him, and they are married, legit. Okay then, right? And we can even have another conversation about what does it mean to be open minded. Now that might be a panel discussion. What does it mean to be open minded now in the 21st century? And I'm going there with this because something one of the ladies said on the grape I want to say the grapevine. Why do I want to say the grapevine? On the breakdown, um when they I can't remember which one of the sisters said that, where Adam said something like, if it came between his daughter working $40,000 a year job or doing $40,000 a scene, you know, in adult film activity, I guess, then he would be insane to not tell her to take the $40,000 a scene, um, you know, gig. And once again, what does it mean to be open minded, right? You can have a conversation about morality here. You can have a conversation about what it means to be open minded, um, norms and rules. Like, I mean, $40,000 a year or 40 grand a scene, right? Trail says Scully Gully. Oh man, no, none's gonna beat that Glizzy Gloppler. Oh man, no, Spain man, you still here, you still here. Spain man said, salute. Feels like I've been MIA on your last few streams. Mr. Z been MIA on his last few streams. I took a couple of days off, right? Life is lifing. Um, but yeah, so we'll end that on that. No, this is definitely one of those. Um, we really shouldn't be entertaining this, but it's something entertaining, right? And it's something you can extrapolate a lot from. Um, yeah, and so that's what I did. And shout out to the ladies from the breakdown, because that's what they did, and yeah, right? But once again, transactional relationships, what happens when you put money over everything, right? I argue it kind of looks like this. It kind of looks like this. So we'll truly pause right here. Love, peace, and chicken grease. Y'all go check out other Black Manosphere content, other non-Manosphere content, and well, this is what it looked like, right? And I guess shout out to you, Adam 22. I guess you and your lady will continue to do your thing and and your thing with other people. And excuse me, I know they've been together for a little while. Recently got married, but they've been together for a little while. So hopefully it works out, and y'all will be one of the few people that can you know do strange things with other people on camera and then still stay together. Yeah. And I guess not so. I mean, didn't we see the same thing with Hulk Hogan and his friend and the friend's wife? I guess, I guess, so yep. And on that note, we'll close out and y'all have a great, great, great. Okay, all right, all right. This is a good runner-up, right? This is a good runner-up. Big Kev says she's a tongue tactician. There we go. Tongue tactician. There we go. Talk about tongue tactician. Tongue tied. Right? Spain man said throat goat. Unhinged jaw. What, serpent jaw? Oh man. Hysterical. Detroit said thunder. Look, hey man, hey. Shout out to you, Adam 22. Look, you're already a film star, and BGS is right, and wow, a porn starring. Okay, yeah, but extrapolating from that, people out here living this life for real though. And I, as a L7, just find it fascinating, right? Deep thoughts, right? We gotta give it to rappers. Oh my god, the way rappers have turned calling fellatio into an art form. Oh man, man, from Wayne to Fabulous to Cameron, man, to Jay-Z to Nema. They have turned that into an art form. Oliver the Great said, "We need a thread with straight roast." No, hey, it's gonna get crazy in here if we do that, Oliver. It's gonna get crazy in here. All these smart brothers just coming up with like off the top rope one-liners. Right? Nah, that it'll get crazy in here. So on that note, we will truly close out. Unlike Adam 22's wife legs. Anyway, and y'all have a great rest of y'all night, right? And y'all go check out, like I said, other Black Manosphere content, other non-Manosphere content, please, right? So we don't. I shout out to O'Shea Duke Jackson. I'm not trying to turn Mr. Z's channel into the celebrity junk, right? Shout out to O'Shea. And I'm not even gonna read that one out loud, Trail. I'm not even gonna read that. That was funny. Right? But y'all go check out other Black Manosphere content, other non-Manosphere content. All right, everybody. Mr. Z out. Y'all have a great rest of y'all night. Hysterical, Trail.